The latest Republican presidential debate where much of the attention was on the latest frontrunner, Newt Gingrich.
He answered questions about national security in great detail. That was the focus of the debate. But it was actually his answer on an immigration question that some say could pose a problem for him. Political correspondent Jan Crawford is in Washington this morning with more. Jan, good morning.
Well, good morning, Erica. Yeah, I mean, Newt Gingrich thinks he can talk about pretty much anything. But in last night's Republican debate, he might have just said too much.
On drugs.
It was toward the end of the national security debate when Gingrich took a moderate approach on the controversial issue of immigration.
I don't see how the party that says it's the party of the family is going to adopt an immigration policy which destroys families that have been here a quarter century.
Gingrich made the case for amnesty, saying longtime illegal immigrants should be able to live in the United States legally.
And I'm prepared to take the heat for saying, let's be humane in enforcing the law without giving them citizenship, but by finding a way to create legality so that they are not separated from their family. Governor,
that is not what many conservatives believe, and his opponents blasted him. Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann.
Well, I don't agree that you would make 11 million workers legal, because that, in effect, is amnesty.
Gingrich even was outdone by the candidate conservatives fear is too moderate, former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney.
That we're going to say to the people who've come here illegally that now you're all going to get to stay, or some large number are going to get to stay and become permanent residents of the United States. That will only encourage more people to do the same thing.
Gingrich has skyrocketed in recent polls as the latest candidate who isn't Romney, thanks largely to his solid debate performances, where he has shown he's smart on the details of policy.
if we were serious, we would apply Strong America Now's model of Lean Six Sigma. We would save $500 billion a year by having an efficient, effective federal government.
But these debates can be a minefield, especially on bedrock conservative issues like immigration. Just ask Rick Perry. He was a frontrunner. But in a debate 2 months ago, he started lecturing conservatives who opposed his policy of giving tuition discounts to illegal immigrants.
But if you say that we should not educate children who have come into our state for no other reason than they've been brought there by no fault of their own, I don't think you have a heart.
Now, of course, after that, Perry's support really plummeted. And while Gingrich may have taken Perry's place now as a frontrunner in the polls, the question is, Erica, how long is that going to last?
Oh, we will be watching that with a microscope, Jen. Newt Gingrich getting much of the attention last night, but of course he wasn't the only one there. Some of the assessments this morning show that they felt there was a pretty strong performance by people who were polling much lower. As for Mitt Romney, how is he doing? Any real breakout moments for him as the front runner?
You know, I thought he had another strong night last night. He's a very good debater. He showed real passion, and that's something that people say you don't see a lot of in Mitt Romney when he was talking about Israel and threats from Iran. And Michelle Bachmann, you know, she gets a lot of attention on social issues, but her experience on the Intelligence Committee really showed. She had a very strong night last night. And then we got to talk about the flip side. Herman Cain, Rick Perry, I think at times they both seemed like they were a little in over their heads. In fact, Bachmann at one point even called Perry naive.
Ouch. In terms of Romney, we talked a little bit about this new ad that he launched yesterday in New Hampshire, which is drawing a lot of criticism. Now, let's take a quick look, then I want to ask you about it.
If we keep talking about the economy, we're going to lose.
A lot of controversy over that ad, Jan. Why?
Well, I mean, as far as conservatives go, it's not so controversial. Romney's courting that vote, and they think it's pretty brilliant. But Democrats are all upset about it because of that last line where he says, if I keep talking about the economy, then we're going to lose. That is from then Senator Obama, who was quoting a McCain ad, a McCain campaign ad. Let's listen to the full context of that quote.
Senator McCain's campaign actually said, and I quote, "If we keep talking about the economy, we're going to lose."
So that's the whole quote, and the ad doesn't quite get into that. Romney's team says, listen, they're just making a point, and Obama's clueless on the economy, and that shows how. And I think that could go over well with some conservatives. Obviously, they've been wanting Romney to get tough on Obama, and here he is in this ad, getting tough on Obama, even if it's a little out of context.
Whichever candidate you're backing, you want them to get tough because you want them to win. But in taking things out of context, no matter which side of the aisle you're coming from, could that ultimately backfire at some point?
You know, I guess at some point it could, but not at this point. And I think what people understand and see a lot of is that, yes, in political campaigns, it's a blood sport. Things get dirty. Things can be taken out of context. And as one person was saying yesterday, if it's not out of context, it's not an effective political ad. That's kind of sad, but that's political advertising at times. And I think voters may recognize that and like to see Romney really going after Obama on particularly on issues of the economy.
Jan, thanks. Jan Crawford in Washington this morning.